Hello, everyone, and welcome to Fabcon TV. I am your host, Patrick LeBlanc, and today I'm here with Marco. Marco, before we get started, why don't you tell the people who you are and what you do?
All right, well, hello, everybody. I'm Marco Casalaina. I'm VP Products of Core AI here at Microsoft. And my Silicon Valley title, I do come from Silicon Valley,
All right.
is AI Futurist.
AI Futures. All right, Marco. So we're in beautiful Vienna at Fabcon EU. Why don't you tell us, what do you think, how exciting it is to be here?
Hey, it's been a hell of an event. These FabCons, they're always fun, they're always well attended, and there's always lots of innovation that we're able to look at these things. I mean, these are things that people can use today, and it's pretty impressive.
It's pretty impressive. And so, speaking of impressive, this morning I was in the keynote, and I saw your presentation. The very first thing you walked out on stage, and you were talking to your computer.
That's right.
Yeah, why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, yeah, so I was talking to my computer using a new type of model called GPT RealTime. Now, you've seen voice interfaces before. I mean, you got a phone, I got a phone, and you talk to your phone. It's pretty robotic, you know?
Yeah.
The way that we used to do speech interfaces, well, it was a 3-layer sandwich. And so, you'd have speech to text on top, and that transcribes your voice, and then that sends the transcription to a model, and then the model sends some text out, and it text to speeches it. And that's pretty robotic when you do it that way. And that's, when you think about Siri on your phone today, it's pretty robotic.
Yeah.
Well, the GPT RealTime model is direct audio in, audio out. So when I'm talking to that model, my voice goes directly to the model. And so that's super low latency.
Yeah.
I could switch languages at will if I want to, and it'll switch languages with me. And it's direct audio out. It speaks directly to me. And so it's easy to use, but it's very, very natural sound.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So in all this was in Teams, I think. You have the ability to do translations.
Right.
Yeah. So that's
Right. So yeah, I also showed that where I took Nelly and I translated her speaking Swedish in real time into English in her own voice. Now this is a feature it's built into Teams now, and so if you have the higher level versions of Teams, you can use it. But it's based on the Azure Real-Time Translation API, which is also available as an API. You can use it in your call center and stuff like that.
But what was remarkable was you didn't tell it what language that she was speaking. It figured that out on its own.
That's right. Because part of that API is what's called Auto Language ID.
Yeah.
And so it figures out what language you're speaking. It can currently discriminate between 76 different languages.
Wow.
And so it figures out, okay, she's speaking Swedish. Well, I'm going to translate that.
That was pretty impressive. That was pretty impressive to me. I think she was speaking 3 or 4 different languages when you...
Oh, well, that I did in video translation. So,
That was good.
In real time, I just made Nelly speak English. In batch, I made a little montage where I made her speak German and Hungarian and Chinese.
Impressive. It was impressive.
That, when you give it a video, so that's called video translation, uses the same technology.
Wow. Okay.
And when you do that, though, it also changes the lips, and so it makes her lips.
No, it was impressive. It was impressive. The whole part, right? The whole thing I was watching. And then you started writing some code, and you were in Git, and then you had this army of agents that was actually fixing your code for you in real time. That blew my mind.
That's right. Well, I didn't start writing some code. That's the thing. I mean, the process that I used. Now, what I showed there was my questionnaire multi-agent system. So I get all these questionnaires, these big Excel spreadsheets full of questions.
Oh, yeah.
And I have to fill these things out, or I used to have to fill these things out, right? So, I mean, I demoed this here, but this is actually a tool that I really use. I mean, I wrote it for myself, not for demos, to automate part of my own job.
Yeah.
And it will fill out the entire Excel questionnaire. I give it the Excel sheet, it will noodle on it sometimes for hours, and then it spits it out. And here it is, 177 questions. I'm done. Here you go.
Talking about efficient, right? Talking about efficient. So
but the way that I wrote it, though. Well, I didn't. I mean, I can code it. I come from a developer background, but I used a structured vibe coding process.
Right. You talked about that this morning in the keynote. Yeah. Tell us more about that.
Well, you think of vibe coding as like, I'm going to type into the little chat window and it'll write some code for me.
Yeah.
That's not really a great way to do it because you lose the provenance of your code. Where did that come from? I don't even know, right? So the way that you do it in structured vibe coding, well, it starts with a spec. So when I wrote this application, what I wrote first was a big spec in just plain English, actually in Markdown.
Yeah.
And it described what I wanted and the different agents that I wanted it to implement and how they worked and those kinds of things and what it does when I give it an Excel spreadsheet. So I described all that to it in this document. And then I said to GitHub Copilot, implement this spec. and it wrote the initial version of this thing.
Wow.
And out of the gate, it kind of worked. It was almost there, right? So it worked. It wasn't perfect, though. It had some issues. So then I used the GitHub issue system to start logging bugs. But I assigned these GitHub issues not to me, but to Copilot.
And this is what we saw in the demo.
That's what you saw in the demo.
Yeah.
And what Copilot does, it picks them up asynchronously. It spawns an agent.
Yeah.
And I was doing these things 3 or 4 at a time. So I'd file a bunch of issues, and I say, Copilot, do all these.
Yeah.
And it simultaneously will do them all.
Wow.
Spawning, 3 or 4 different agents. And when they're done, each one of them, when they're done, they will ping me. And they say, ding, I'm done. Check it.
So it did a pull request.
It does a pull request. That's what it does. It sends a pull request to me.
Yeah.
And then my job as the manager of these agents is to review these pull requests, sync the code over, make sure that it did indeed fix the issue, and then merge and commit.
The manager of the AI.
That's what I do.
That's what you do.
I'm a manager of AI agents.
So at the end, I saw you talking to, I think it was a satellite or a spaceship.
That's
something like that.
So I was talking to the Hera spacecraft. The Hera spacecraft is currently orbiting the asteroid Didymos.
Okay.
And back in 2023, NASA crashed the DART spacecraft into Didymos to deflect it.
Yeah.
So the idea is, let's say that there's an asteroid heading towards Earth, and it's going to cause a mass extinction event, like with the dinosaurs, right? So the question is, can we deflect an asteroid enough that it will miss Earth?
Sure.
So we crashed that spacecraft in 2023, and it did deflect the asteroid. By how much, though? So the ESA, the European Space Agency, sent this follow-up spacecraft, Hera, up to Didymos to determine, among other things, how much did we deflect it?
Yeah.
And that's what it's measuring right now. Now, this interface, and you could try this too, it's hera.space, and I do strongly encourage it. You can talk to the spacecraft. This thing is linked to the real-time telemetry from the spacecraft. It knows where it is, how fast it's going, its temperature, what all the instruments on it are doing, the cameras and the solar panels, all of that stuff, and you can talk to it. So we talk about this GPT RealTime model.
Yeah.
They're using it in this
On
thing.
the spacecraft.
Well, I mean, the interface that you're using. So you can actually ask the spacecraft, hey, what's your temperature right now? And it's interactive. If you ask it, what's your temperature right now, it won't just tell you what the temperature is.
That's what I saw.
It'll show you a little graph, and it'll be like, okay, so here's my temperature over time and how it's been progressing.
It just didn't give you like a scalar, a single value. It told me, almost told me a little story about what was going on as it was up there. It was pretty remarkable, Marco. Pretty remarkable. So AI, apps, GitHub, the real time. What can I expect in the next 6 months?
It's going to be a lot. I mean, 6 months in AI is a lifetime.
Ooh, it's a lifetime.
Lots of things happen in 6 months. One thing that I think is going to be particularly interesting for Fabric folks, we are working on a machine learning engineering agent or a data science agent. Because you have all of this data in Fabric. There are a set of problems that generative AI doesn't solve today.
Okay.
That's like churn modeling or propensity modeling. If I make you an offer, are you going to take it or not? Or fraud. Or predictive maintenance. Is this thing going to break or not? And that's really well served by traditional machine learning. And that has been the province of data scientists.
Okay.
Now, this data science agent that we're working on will actually automatically build those types of models, churn models, maintenance models, those kinds of things, using your data in Fabric.
Wow.
That's
pretty
where this
remarkable.
is going.
It's pretty remarkable. Okay, so next up, Atlanta. Back in the U.S., Fabcon. Can you give us a sneak peek of what you may be talking about? Or have you even started thinking about it?
Well, what is that? It is 6 months away, right?
6 months away.
Oh, my word. Well, I'm sure by then we will have a much more mature data science agent. So that is definitely something that I'll be showing then.
All right.
But, I do think that Hera.space site, that, like I said, it's public, you all can try it, is a really good indicator of where AI is going to go next. It's not going to be just chat or just voice. It's going to be this whole combined interactive and data-driven interface. That's where AI is going across the board. This is what we're going to be interacting with in the next year or 2 years. And 6 months from now, you're going to see much, much more of that embedded into apps that you use every day.
All right. Well, thank you, Marco, for taking the time to come hang out with us on Fabcon TV. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.